Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only, and for those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law, and through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and also a short trading lesson at the end, so please stay tuned. Before I start today's video, I'd like to make a short announcement. The short announcement is over the weekend I will be starting in response to a lot of demand from subscribers and people leaving comments. I will be starting a Patreon, and I will be starting a Discord channel with support for people who wish to join, and details will come in the video coming up at the weekend, so please stay tuned. There will be a special offer for the first 30 people who join. Again, please stay tuned at the weekend for the video when I will share more details of this. Quick recap of the previous video. I looked at reasons why the share price for Torchlight Energy Resources was going down from Tuesday onwards. Also gave you an insight in terms of my strategy in dealing with this stock, and also some information with regard to dates and dividends. So please refer back to that video. So let's make a start without any further ado on today's video. Today's stock analysis is also for ticker symbol TRCH, continuing with Torchlight Energy Resources. So congratulations to everybody who held up till today. Today, if you did manage to sell, that's fine also, if you managed to take profit depending on your buy price. So today, 25th of June 2025, today is the qualification date for entitlement to the special dividend. So even if you sold today, you will be entitled to the dividend. The dividend is going to be paid at a future date. We still don't know what that date is. We don't know how much the dividend is, and we also don't know how it's going to be calculated specifically, but it is going to be subject to sale of assets from Torch. So it's a case of wait and see. And now we have the entitlement. You also have the right to sell. At the moment, I have still not sold my shares. I'm going to be monitoring the market, giving reasons for that. So I'm going to continue with the analysis for Torch today, and let's start by having a look at the key developments. I'd like to start by giving my 100% support to YouTube channel Moon Market. I'd also like to express some gratitude for featuring my channel on their video, so thank you very much for the shout out. It is very much appreciated. So there was a reason for my video being played on the Moon Market YouTube channel. So it was let's have a look at, if you have a look at the screen here. So we'll start with this. Tanner Alston has commented below the channel and said, "I watched both videos tonight, bro. You said it is much more valid to me. They said we spit the facts, and immediately speculated the squeeze happened." So I'll just quickly summarize what's going on here. There is a disagreement and allegations of misinformation from another YouTube channel against Moon Market. Moon Market has quite honestly admitted to the mistake, which was a minor mistake, and it did not affect investors getting the dividend. So it's not a serious issue. However, the other channel concerned allegedly have misled many investors potentially in possibly missing out on the dividends. So that's what the issue is regarding. So I hope nobody was misled with regard to buying and selling on the 23rd. I know I featured that yesterday on my channel, and there was one comment from one of the subscribers who did say he had similar information. So we can confirm that information is certainly not true. On the second screen now, I'd like to give a special shout out and thank you very much to Maila Johnson. I really do appreciate your comment here, and it means a lot to me. She has said, "I love Trading Secret. I watched him months ago when he first mentioned Torch." So yes, Torch was mentioned a long time ago on my channel. In fact, I mentioned Torch before there were even any rumors of a merger. One of the things I looked at, it was a penny stock at the time. It was trading on the NASDAQ, and in terms of the assets, by having a look at the investor relation page, I saw that there was potentially huge value in terms of the assets going forward. Later on, we had rumors of a merger, then it became confirmed details of an upcoming merger, and lots of other analysts did jump on board. However, Moon Market is very similar to me. He was one of the first YouTubers to bring you Torch. He's also one of the earliest investors, so certainly I support the channel 100%. I'd like to now share the same evidence that Moon Market shared on his channel, and this is from the Equity Corporate Actions Alert 2021-108. So we have confirmation here in terms of the company. I'll just read you out confirmation that anybody who sold on the 23rd or the 24th will not be receiving the dividend. So it says on here, Torch announced a series distribution of Series A preferred stocks to shareholders of common stock. As to the record date of June 24, the Series A preferred stock will not be listing on NASDAQ. The details of the distribution are as follows. So no market exists for Series A preferred stock, therefore NASDAQ will not be making a price adjustment on the ex-dividend date. So the payment date is June the 25th, 2021. So that is the date that will qualify you for the dividend. That is today, Friday the 25th. So if you held till today, congratulations. So this is the accurate information. The next thing I'd like to clarify and confirm is in terms of price calculation, what's going to happen in terms of the shares going forward after June the 30th. So the first thing just to clarify is Torch is going to convert to 1 share of MMATF. Holders of Meta are going to receive approximately 3.7 MMATF shares. So although the share price of Meta at the moment is much higher, the new price is going to be based on the Torch. Torch is currently listed on the NASDAQ. Meta is not listed on the NASDAQ, so we're going to be going and using the final price of Torch. So if you think about it, it makes much more sense for the Torch price to be higher regardless of the Meta. So the Meta is just a price for Meta at the moment, and that doesn't take into account any valuation or interest in Torch. However, once we get the combined price, that will be a different issue. The next thing I'd like to focus on is the impacts for Meta shareholders. So this is very important information. So first of all, many people have commented on the channel saying, well, we wish we could have invested in Meta, because if we invested in Meta, we would have got 3.6 shares instead of 1 for 1. However, if you remember, we are getting 1 for 1 plus the dividend. So basically, if let's say hypothetically the share price closes at $4 or $5 or $6, so that's the price that we get, but we're going to get an undisclosed dividend. It could be anything. It could be $1, $5, $10, even $20. We don't know. It's going to be a future bonus. However, the Meta shareholders already will know on June 30th what they are going to get. And this is the worrying thing. The worrying thing is Meta shareholders could end up with a loss and be worse off than Torch shareholders. So if you have a look at the screen here, let me try and explain why. Meta shareholders will receive 3.6 approximately shares for every share they own. So let's just say, for example, Torch closes at $4 a share. So that means the current Meta share price, let's say around $14.40, as it did go up. So that will be 3.6 times 4, giving $13.60. So it means anybody who purchased in late at Meta will now be worse off. So basically what that means is we need to squeeze the price of Torch up. People need to start, especially the Meta owners, if they want to make a profit, we need to get the price of Torch up significantly. Okay, so in terms of what I just mentioned there, so I'm going to now give a shout out to Ape of Wall Street. So he's stated something very similar to what I've said here. So let's have a look at his post. He said, when the merger takes place, Meta Material will take the place of Torchlight on the NASDAQ listing under the ticker MMAT. So 1 share of Meta will equal 3 shares of MMAT. It's going to be approximately 3.6. Shares of Torchlight will equal 1 share of MMAT, that is correct, at the closing price of Torchlight, plus 1 Class A preferred stock dividend, which is still undisclosed. The closer Meta Material price gets to 3x Torchlight price, the less profit you will have. If Meta MMATF price goes above 3x Torch price, you will start losing money. The reason for that is because, let's say, for example, the Meta Material price, Meta price spikes up to $20, but the Torch price goes to $4. So they're going from $20 to holding around about $12. So that's the general gist of it. What we're basically saying here, the higher the torch is at the time of the merger, the more profit everybody will be making. So obviously the key information is shared here. Obviously, good luck to everyone. Obviously, that's his opinion. So again, in all investing, please do your own due diligence and your own research. The next thing I'd like to do is give a shout out to the Real Albanian Bull. I think this is a very, very interesting post, and it did grab my attention. So let's have a look at a summary of what the Real Albanian Bull is basically saying. So first of all, he's basically saying, it seems we may have been deceived. You have 3 trading days before June 30th for life-changing gains. So we still have time. It may not be a good idea to sell. If anybody did sell, again, there could be a potential to buy back if there is an upcoming squeeze. These are the reasons for the potential squeeze. So first of all, June the 30th is a key date. The Meta shareholders will receive approximately 3.6 shares of the new stock, which we just looked at. And whatever the price of Torch is going to be the new MMATF price. So what he's also saying is that low lifes are tricking shareholders, so I think he's referring to hedge funds there and shorts, into pumping this when you should be pumping the other side. So why is everybody pumping Meta, whereas the real stock that should have been pumped is Torch? So if Torch closes at $2, well, guess what? The Meta shareholders are going to receive around about $7.20, so they could be more than 50% down. So everybody needs to really think about this. The price of Torch needs to go up. It's immaterial, the price of Meta. So very good post so far from the Real Albanian Bull. And he's also finished off to say, if you help us to squeeze Torch, because of the squeeze is inevitable, it could happen. But to reach higher peaks, let's say, you know, something that's not going to happen, but let's just say on an extreme scenario, the price is squeezed to $100, then everybody in Meta could be receiving approximately $360. So huge possible returns. So if you have a Meta share, keep it, because you're going to be receiving 3.6. But if you're investing anything new, move it to Torch before the 30th. Let's see if there is a squeeze. Let's now have a look at potential evidence for an upcoming squeeze. So this is from Fintel. So Fintel is basically saying Torchlight Energy is one of the top stocks for a short squeeze and beats the top shorted stocks in terms of AMC, GME, and the volume in terms of short volume ratio is around about 34%. So encouraging signs here if we're looking for a squeeze. Huge volume. Market volume for Torch was in excess of 121 million. Short volume ratio there, 34%. What I would now like to do is share some comments which I think everybody may benefit from in terms of the channel. So the first comment, which I think is a very important comment, and this is from Afdan, who's commented on the channel, and he said, "Hello sir, will you be able to share your opinions on the Trading 212 and how to protect your shares against being borrowed to help shorts? I respect your due diligence and your trading experience. Trading 212 borrow shares is still a bit of a grey space for me and many others. Any information would help. Kind regards." So yes, I am aware of this change. This is a recent change in terms of conditions in Trading 212. So basically, you do not have to sign. You have automatic agreement by continuing to use Trading 212. You agree to these changes in the terms and conditions. So what it certainly looks like, and the implication is, Trading 212 may be using some of our shares, borrowing them over to shorts and encouraging the shorts to short other companies, again driving prices down. So this is not a good sign. This is not good in terms of the changing conditions from retail investors' point of view. So what can we do about it? So the simple answer is, if you are in the invest account, there's nothing you can do about it. You either move to another platform, or we have to agree and accept that this is the terms and conditions that we're going with. However, there is one thing that you can do, and what I will tell you is, in terms of best advice here, is try to maximize your investments in the ISA, Trading 212 ISA. So if you move your investments in the Trading 212 ISA, that one is not subject to the same terms and conditions. So once you have money in the ISA, it comes under different legal guidelines, and Trading 212 cannot take that out. Okay, so the next question is from Roger Ma. So thank you for your question, Roger. He's said here, I very recently found you and you seem to be very educated and knowledgeable. So thank you there, Roger, for the kind words. I've been messing about with Robinhood, trying to get going for 2 years and trying to learn and educate. I only mess with money that I'm prepared to lose or can afford to lose, so that is the correct thing to do. If you do invest in the stock market, you should only invest in money you're prepared to lose. You will say, but I will say you're the first person who's talking about Torch, and the dividend payout could be the end of the year. Seems like everybody else is saying that we're going to get the dividend by the end of June, so I'm a little confused. But it does seem to be like you know what you're talking about, and I will say a thank you for the video. You've got a new subscriber, and I look forward to continuously working with you, sir. So I think this should be a very simple answer there. First of all, we're going to receive the new placeholder share up until June the 30th. So that today we had the new share. The new share is going to convert to Meta after June the 30th. In terms of the dividend, the company have stated that it could be the end of year. So the dividend is a special dividend that we don't have a date. So nobody can, if anybody's giving you a date when we're going to get that, then that is incorrect information. The special dividend, the reason why I said it could be the end of the year is because that's what the company have informed us. So thank you for your response there. At the bottom, Wacko451, he said similar to what I just mentioned earlier. Investors need to sell MMATF and buy Torch. Thank you for that positive comment, Wacko. And so basically what we need to do is we need to push the price of Torch up. The next question I'd like to look at now is from DJ Duck, and then after that we're going to look at Plumeria 3494. So let's start with DJ Duck. DJ Duck, excuse my language there, has said, thanks for the breakdown. I'm still confused with regard to Trading 212 and unfamiliar. If I hold my shares until the merger takes place on June 30th, would X amount of shares along with the equivalent preferred placeholder shares all transfer into the new ticker? So certainly for people investing through Trading 212, that is not the case. They have said to us that they are going to sell our shares and transfer it into our cash portfolio. So we will not be investing in the new ticker for Meta. However, if you have invested through Robinhood or Webull, as far as I'm aware, that's not the case. Your transaction and movement into the new ticker should be automatic. Again, you can contact the customer services for your brokers just for confirmation of that. So I hope that helps. Let's now move on to look at the next question from Plumeria 3494. Okay, so Plumeria has said, would you know about the T+2 rule regarding dividend dates and qualifications? Alpha Status Stocks put out a video about this. They said because of the time it takes to settle and leave our accounts, and they questioned if Torch shareholders sold on 6/20 he would receive dividends, moreover short spot on the 21st. So I think this is basically referring back to the issue that I dealt with at the beginning of the video in terms of allegations that this YouTube channel may have advised some investors to quite happily sell their shares in Torch on 23rd as they would still receive the dividends. I haven't seen the details of this allegations myself, but that's what is certainly going on. But as far as I'm concerned, the only thing I would like to say is we have had clarification from George. We have clarification from the Torch website and also from the website that I shared with you, as well as Moon Market. So I'm quite confident to say that if you held on the 22nd, 23rd and 24th, you will receive the dividend. If you sold on the 23rd, on the 24th, if you sold on any of those 2 days, 23rd or 24th, I'm also quite confident you will not receive the dividend. So I hope that helps. It's now time for lesson of the day. We're up to lesson 74. So today we're going to focus on a short ladder attack, and this is something that I think certainly could be very possible, and what could be happening right now with regard to Torch. So basically, let's go through this. If you look at the screen here, it's just a quick screenshot summary of a short ladder attack. So a short ladder attack, it looks like the stock is selling off. In reality, it's not. So in our situation with Torch, you would think that anybody who was looking for the dividend, why would they sell? Especially if the price is high. So I certainly did not sell the shares on the 23rd and 24th. I'm not aware of many other retail investors that did sell. So what's going on here? So what we're saying here is hedge funds will sell back and forth with one another at lower and lower bids in rapid succession, tricking algorithms into thinking there is a mass sell-off when actually there isn't. So they do this to scare off retail investors and also engineer a sell-off. So I do think there may have been some success in this on the 23rd and 24th, when we may have seen some retail investors selling off, because shorts are very, very clever in terms of manipulating the market and scaring retail investors. So once the attack is over, the stock will normally go back up to its due demand. Then they will rinse and repeat the attack each time, hoping to chip away more and more retail investors. Most people in here will know that obviously retail investors, if they are selling, it's unlikely that anybody else is selling at all. So retail investors, I don't think we're selling. So this is what happens when we have a short ladder attack. So I hope that helps. Thank you very much for joining me. Please stay tuned.